Do you want an accurate natal chart reading to know the true position of the sun, the moon, and each planet at the moment that you were being born? We at the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge will create a precise natal chart for you and your loved ones, coupled with snapshot pictures of each planet, the sun, the moon, plus the constellations related to them. In addition to this, we will be giving you a detailed report of the alignment of planets to the constellations and its full meaning, not from an astrological perspective, but from an ancient astronomical perspective. You will have this report for the rest of your life and can share it with your friends and your family. To order your accurate natal chart today, visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Bless it. We say blessed love to each and everyone. Give thanks for your presence with us on a wonderful, beautiful looking evening as we are observing the full moon, what is referred to as the flower moon. Now, officially, this evening is the evening of the 11th day of May 2025. The Honorable Priest Isaac here with you, and we will be taking a look at some ancient astronomy. We will be doing some natal chart reading for you tonight. Now, this may be your Earth Day, your born day. Today may be the day that you were literally born, coming out of the womb of your mother. Now, that may be 20 years ago, it may be 30 years ago, it could be 15 years ago. Hey, give thanks, congratulations if you gave birth to a child today. But whatever the case is, as I said, we are going to look at this day. This is the 11th of May, but not 2025. We're going to choose a date in the past, as I said, 20 or 30 years ago, and we're going to take the time to observe what was taking place in the heavens. So, if just by chance your birthday was today, and it was whatever date we're going to choose that you came into the earth, well, you're going to get a special treat this evening, natal chart reading. Now, in the interest of time, let us just go through this quickly. As you will be observing, we are utilizing the app known as Stellarium. And of course, at the same time, this will be somewhat of a quick crash course that I will be giving you, so you have a good understanding of how we utilize it as well. So there is a bottom bar here where you could literally, somewhat manipulate the heavens as such. Now, of course, these softwares and apps that you have for the space astronomical movements of the heavens, they're definitely quite precise and, of course, quite aligned with exactly what is taking place in the heavens. So you do not have to worry about that at all. Remember, it's all computerized. So even futuristically speaking, everything is quite mathematically precise. Very good. So this has been set from a specific angle in the northeastern Caribbean. And if you look at the bottom bar, what you can do, you have a section here where you can just totally eliminate the earth. So you, with the press of a button, with the click as such, you totally eliminate the earth. Then also you can create a background where the heavens becomes extremely dark, no matter what light is dominant. So, for example, tonight is a full moon. So this is giving you the reality of how it looks outside. You know, when the moon is full, there are stars that you really cannot see. Of course, when the sun is out, you do not see anything but the sun. You may get a glimpse of the moon depending on what angle the moon is at. But again, according to how this app is put together with the click of the mouse or with your finger, the whole heavens become totally black. And every star, well, not every star, but as much of the heavens that can be seen will be exposed to you. So again, giving you an idea how to utilize the stellarium. Then now on the left side, you have another bar. This is, well, the left bar, which gives you the date and the time, etc. So what we are going to do, we're going to first of all stop the time. And it's 2025, the year, the month, the fifth month, May, the 11th day of the month. And it is 7:57 or 1957 GMT. And we're going to, as I said, press pause right there. Now, first of all, what I want us to do is to change the year. So, in other words, let us just say 2025, we're going to go to 1998. So, if you were born in 1998, today would be, if my maths is correct, your 27th Earth Day, a blessed Earth Day to you. And if by chance you were born at 1956, which is 7:56 in the evening, well, that would be really something else. You are getting an extra special treat here tonight. Now, keep in mind, family, that we create natal chart readings and not just to speak it out to you, but we literally put the documents together for you. So we create the natal chart package where what we do, first of all, we give you a clear understanding of where the sun, the moon, and all the planets were when you were born, as it relates to your constellation. That is, as it relates to your birthday, pardon me, where the planets are as it relates to the constellations in the zodiac belt when it comes to that the day that you were born. Now, also, the coordinates. I want you to follow me, family. Please follow me. The coordinates are very important because you see why I must bring this up. For example, tonight is a full moon, eh? And the moon is in the constellation of Libra. Now, anyone who is into astrology would tell you that it is a Scorpio moon, meaning that the moon is in Scorpio. Now, that may be the case if this was 600 or 700 years ago. But again, astrology as we know it is not up to speed with the astronomical clock, that's for sure. In the same way that astronomy as we know it does not have that heart space for the value of the same astronomy, the value of the planets, the value of the constellations, like astrology does. That's why astrology is concerned with the characteristics of the natal child. You know, today is your birthday. Today is the day you came into existence as such, and then they look at where the sun was when you were born, where the moon was when you were born, what is your rising constellation, your rising planets, and that will have a lot to do with your characteristics. Then, of course, even the different types of plants and herbs and spices and fruits, things that are related to you. This is reality. You're a living being. You are a living organism in the whole atmosphere of creation. So you're connected to the seas. You're connected to the plants. You're connected to the planets. When pardon me, is full, like tonight, you see the reaction with the water table and the level of the seawater and the high tide and the low tide and even the rain and the clouds and these things. You can see the reaction in nature when it comes to the moon. So there's a reaction in you naturally when it comes to the moon, when it comes to the sun, when it comes to the planets, and which constellation the planets were in, or this planet was in when you were born. Where was Saturn when you were born? How close was it to the sun when you were born? Was it at 180 to Jupiter when you were born? That would be very deep. All of these things, all of these scenarios as such, has their energy, has their circumstances, has their benefits as such, because it's the heavens. So it would be good if you at least, would have an understanding of where certain heavenly bodies were when you were born. Now, that is not belief. That is not, well, I'm not into those kind of things because nobody can prove that they work. What work? No, no, we're not talking about what works it. I am giving you a clear understanding of where the major heavenly bodies were the moment you were born. Now, yes, we also give celestial interpretations of this. So if the sun was in Taurus, I can explain to you what that has to do with you. But just in case you're not into the interpretation part, that's not what I'm talking about at the moment. I'm number one, showing you that on a very simple preschool level, we need to escape from astrology because astrology clearly shows you, without a doubt, that although it has the right idea, the mathematics is wrong. And that's the main flaw. It has the right idea. Its heart space is in the right place. It values the planets and the planets and their connection, it values the constellations and where the sun and the moon were located, not just at the birth of the natal child, but every day. It values that, but its mathematics is off. I'm talking about astrology. It's off by several hundred years, by several degrees. It is off. So this is why ancient astronomy, what we promote, that is why that is the thing. All right, let me show you something quickly, so you can understand what I'm saying here. So it is 7:56, on the 11th day of May, 1998, and someone just came into the world. So today is the 25th, not 25th, pardon me, the 27th Earth strong. All right, let's return to the Stellarium app here. As I said, on the left side, you have somewhat of, and just remember the date there. I'm going to remove that. On the left side, you have the, what you may call it here, for searching, the magnifying glass. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to give you, as I said, somewhat of a crash course of how to utilize this app. You just type in sun, and it shows you where the sun was located at this time, which is 1998, again 7:56 in the evening, again on the 11th day of May. Good. Now, if you notice, when we punched in the sun, you got a lot of information here for you to go through. Now, this is a lot of reading, but really what we are highlighting is the coordinates of the sun. The coordinates of the sun, exactly where the sun was at the exact precise time that this individual was born. So you have the right ascension and the declination. For those of you who are a part of the ancient astronomy course, you have a good understanding of what the right ascension and the declination is all about. We're dealing with coordinates. It's like the longitude and the latitude of the heavens, of the sky. So, in the same way that the Earth has a terrestrial equator, 0 degrees, the heavens has a celestial equator, degrees as well. And the heavens, which is an apparent sphere, you comprehend what I'm saying? An apparent sphere, just like the Earth, has this web-like effect known as the coordinates, longitude, latitude, which is right ascension and declination. And I hope, I'm not going too fast with that. And again, if I was positive that my audience were all students of the ancient astronomy course that we would have put together, I wouldn't even speak about this because I would be sure that you have a good understanding of the academics. And this is why, again, family, I am encouraging you as adults to literally enroll in our ancient astronomy, the rudiments of ancient astronomy, the specific course that we offer. And although it was designed for the mature mind, for the adults, I must say that your child, teenagers and preteens, should also be a part of that ancient astronomy course. Now, for the little ones, I would more encourage you to check out our homeschool program, where we have astronomy for the toddlers and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 year olds. But anything 10, 11, 12, and adults, the ancient astronomy course, the rudiments of ancient astronomy, I definitely encourage it. So again, the right ascension of the sun here is 3 hours, 14 minutes, and 35.15 seconds. The declination is positive 18 degrees, 1 minute, 30.6 seconds. So really, right ascension is read in this fashion. Right ascension is hour, minute, second, while declination is degrees, positive or negative, north or south, minute, second, degrees, minute, second. And right ascension is hour, minute, seconds. I hope you understand that. And again, that is really latitude and longitude. So what you are getting here is the precise coordinates of the sun at this time when this person was born. Now, of course, again, we're utilizing Stellarium, so you can see the literal grid that would appear. There it is, again, to prove your coordinates. I want you to understand this, family. Now, the primary information that you would get from us, especially when we are doing the natal chart, is which constellation the sun is in, or which constellation the moon is in, or Mercury or Venus or what have you. That's where we begin. So, in other words, at least from what you're observing here, the sun is in the constellation of Taurus. That is true, but it's still feeding off of a strong Aries energy, because Taurus is one of the 4 constellations that literally go beyond its 30-degree house. I want you to understand that. Each zodiac constellation has 30 degrees that they really govern, that they control. So it's 12 spaces of 30 degrees. That's why you have 360 a circle. 360 times 12 is 30 degrees. Now, I know some people say, well, this is why I don't believe in the zodiac thing and once a month thing, because some constellations are larger than some. That is true. In fact, Scorpio is said to be the largest of the constellations, eh? But yet still, I'm telling you, Scorpio is well nudged perfectly within the 30-degree space that has been allotted for Scorpio and the serpent holder, mark you. But then now you have a constellation, for example, Aquarius. Aquarius is within its 30-degree spot, but Aquarius extends into the area that belongs to Capricorn. So Aquarius is actually over Capricorn to some degree. So when the sun is in the horn of Capricorn, it's still in the constellation of Aquarius, but it's in the zone of Capricorn. I hope you understand me with that. And the same thing can go for Pisces as well as Virgo. Those constellations literally go over their boundaries. And then you have constellations, for example, like Kepler, which is Cancer, which controls half of its boundaries, but the rest of the boundaries is basically left open. So it's deep. So there is value with understanding the mathematics. Each constellation, take it from me, each constellation in the zodiac belt does govern a 30-degree space. They govern it. One or a few of them literally go beyond the boundary, but it's recognized that they are in the boundary of the other constellation to the point that they're overlapping it. Eh? And even that is very deep. Now, family, obviously, we cannot cover everything here this evening. This is something we intend to continually do. I think many of us, we need to get a stronger appreciation for understanding where the heavens was when we were born. It's not a process that just happens overnight. In fact, it's something you grow into. It's almost like, martial arts. You don't just come to a class and learn it and get your black belt and how many belts you want to get. You have to be a part of it. You have to trade. You have to grow into it. You have to eat and sleep it, you understand? And it's the same thing with comprehending the heavens, comprehending how to read the stars and how to understand the value within yourself. Now, again, I still want to take some time to at least impart some of that knowledge with you this evening. So you already, you already got an understanding of the importance of knowing where the planets and the sun and moon were located at the time of your birth. Let me just show you a quick example here. Let us type in the moon. So the moon now, at least on this day, um, uh, 27 years ago, was in the constellation of Libra, much like tonight. But tonight it is more to the right aspect, the right half of Libra's space. But 27 years ago, it was to the left aspect of Libra's space, very close to the constellation of Scorpio, even closer to Scorpio than it is this evening. So again, you can see that we have the precise, we're not guessing here, we have the precise coordinates of the moon and where it was at this time. And according to the information here, right ascension and declination, you have 15 hours, right ascension, huh? 15 hours, uh, 40 minutes, and 53.38 seconds. And that is right ascension. And then you have declination, which is minus 14 degrees, 42 minutes, and 34.9 seconds. So again, precise reading. So someone may be arguing, if the moon is in Libra tonight, or if the moon is in Scorpio tonight, what you should be looking at is the coordinates of the moon. And then check what space does that coordinate, those coordinates, pardon me, occupy in the heavens. And you will see that the moon tonight, the flower moon that most astrologers are telling you is in Scorpio, is in Libra, for sure. That's tonight. Because astrology is still off at least 12 degrees when it comes to its interpretation. Wherein again, astronomy, which is spot on, but astronomy is totally disconnected when it relates to the value of these planets and these heavenly bodies to you as a human being, to the plants, to the organs, and to herbs and fruits and these different things, to the different crystals on the planet Earth. They're connected to different planets and constellations, but all of that is void of in astronomy. In fact, astronomers look at that as pseudoscience. So you see, ancient astronomy basically would merge both of them together. Now, what I want to do before we go, I want to do a little cosmic celestial reading for you. So instead of just saying, yes, the sun is in the bull, the sun was in the constellation of the bull when you were born, Taurus. But what does that mean now? I will explain to you right now. Do you want an accurate natal chart reading to know the true position of the sun, the moon, and each planet at the moment that you were being born? We at the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge will create a precise natal chart for you and your loved ones, coupled with snapshot pictures of each planet, the sun, the moon, plus the constellations related to them. In addition to this, we will be giving you a detailed report of the alignment of planets to the constellations and its full meaning, not from an astrological perspective, but from an ancient astronomical perspective. You will have this report for the rest of your life and can share it with your friends and your family. To order your accurate natal chart today, visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Bless it. Yes, royal family, beautiful, beautiful. And let me just remind everyone, those of you who will be ordering your natal chart reading, remember, you literally get the document, planet, plans, and constellations when you order your natal chart reading itself. So again, what planet, plans, and constellations is all about, it really gives you a good understanding. It's something to study, really. It gives you a good understanding of the planets and the sun and the moon and what constellations they are connected to. Plus, it goes into the value of the constellation and the planet. As they're connected to each other, they would have the very same value. Doesn't necessarily mean that they will be together when you were born or when people are born. Doesn't necessarily mean the sun is in Leo. The sun may be on the total opposite side of Leo. But the point is that the sun and Leo carries that same energy, which is ego, which we tend to use as a bad word, but it just means strong determination, resilience, manifestation, self-love. And the sun, which is Leo, deals directly with the heart. And then there are herbs and spices and fruits and vegetables that are directly connected to the sun. which is directly connected to Leo too, like walnut and cinnamon and almond and eyebright and rosemary. And again, family, all of this information here is within a whole course and class by itself or series of classes when it comes to, the harvesting of these herbs and spices and the planting of seeds and then how you utilize the herbs when it comes to preparation of medicine, if it's a concoction or if it's an infusion or tincture, these different things. So it's very deep when it comes to plants and planets and then your organs and how you again harvest in connection to the organs that you want to heal or you want to maintain and these different things. And that is what ancient herbology is all about. Ancient herbology was directly connected to ancient astronomy. It's not us trying to put it together. It's one. So, for example, you would see in your planet plants and constellations catalog, you would see the moon is directly connected to the constellation that they call Cancer. But nobody getting no Cancer here. This is Kepra, the the beetle. They call it a crab, and it's directly connected to your emotional body, intuition, your mood. That's why the moon and Kepra or Cancer, as they call it, is connected to the gut, pardon me, and the pineal gland. So again, the moon, aloe, ginger, lily, lettuce, aniseed, poppy. These are moon plants and such. Then you have Mercury, which is directly connected to Virgo and Gemini. So anything Gemini is Mercury, anything Mercury is Virgo. They all deal with the whole aspect of communication. Very important, very important. And the respiratory system and the nervous system comes into play because they're dealing with the mind. Lavender, mint, what do you call it? Pomegranate, beautiful fruit, sage, all connected to Mercury and naturally connected to Virgo. Then you have Taurus, which is connected to Venus and Libra, the constellation of Taurus and the constellation of Libra directly deals with the planet Venus. And this is harmony, characteristics, harmony, love, and beauty. And the kidneys and the thyroid is a part of not only Venus, but Taurus and Libra. Now, as we would have touched that, let us even return to the sky chart. But first of all, let me remind you that when you order your natal chart reading, family. So some of you who will be ordering your complete sky chart, natal chart reading presentation document itself, you will also get the the planet plants and constellation catalog for free. This will assist you now as a student of this subject area to have a better comprehension of the planets and how it connects to you, not only when you were born, but on a daily level. Let me be clear here. The documents that we prepare are quite concise. There is no natal chart reading anywhere that you can compare to the natal chart document that we put together. I'm sorry I had to jump out like that. Sometimes you just got to blow your own horn, eh? Straight up. You heard me mention our ancient astronomy course a few moments ago. Family, I have not taken every course in the world. I would have definitely gone through the modules of many courses, especially in astronomy and things of that nature. And I must say, the course that we would have put together, the ancient astronomy course, my family, that we here at the Priest Isaacs Institute of holistic knowledge would have put together, I'm saying it's second to none. It's unlike any other course. The graphics, the information, and of course the creativity. It's coming out of the tiger's nest, you know. But of course, let me repeat, the information, which is the main thing, the knowledge, you know, but yet still the graphics and the animation and the colors and how it's it gravitates to the mind of the child. That's why we encourage young ones as well to partake of the course. But don't just get the course for the little ones, eh? This is an ancient astronomy course for big people, the rudiments of ancient astronomy. And I'm telling you, we go beyond the rudiments. And I'm saying now, in the same breath, that the natal chart document that we prepare, it is a PDF document where you could literally print it for yourself. You could purchase it as a gift for someone else. In the same way you like to go on Kindle and read your book, you would delight in reading your own natal chart document. You can share it with your friends. You can share it with your family. You could say, Auntie this and cousin this, let me show you my natal chart document. Because remember, it will be well colorfully done, eh? And the display is very beautiful. Eh? I would have showed it to you several times. I highlight not only the planets and constellations that are affiliated with you, but you literally get an astronomical snapshot of every planet and every constellation that was related to the planet at the time when you were born. Once you understand the exact birth time, you are good to go. So, of course, most people know the date, they know the year, but a lot of people don't know the exact hour time that they were born. Some people are not even sure if it was in the day or in the night. That's very important. Now, if you are not uh, aware of the exact time that you were born, it's okay. We can still do a proper natal chart for you, but it will not be precise. It will have um, an approximate 24-hour time frame where the information will wait. You understand? Because remember, the moon is moving at a swift pace in comparison to the sun. So the moon at 12 o'clock tonight is in a different space, 12 o'clock midday tomorrow. Within 24 hours, the moon, or in 12 hours, the moon would have gone a very serious distance, several degrees in the heavens. So to know exactly where the moon was when you were born, you'd have to know the exact time. The sun now, that's a different case. The sun would not be that uh, um, uh, fast in its movement or apparent movement now. I hope you understand. So when you desire to get your natal chart reading, you'd have to send me the day, the month, the year, and the precise exact time if you know the exact time. If you don't, that's not a problem. But of course, the reading would have a certain level of approximate, there'll be approximate value to it, especially when it comes to the moon and the position of the moon. So, and it's a lot more work too when you don't know the exact time. But when you know the exact time, the work is obviously lessened. And let me say this too. This is a process that takes some 2 to 3 weeks to fulfill, especially if we have a lot of individuals who are seeking to get their natal chart reading. This is not something we rush off. This is something we put our heart into because I'm sitting down now with your chart. I'm literally looking at what was taking place in the heavens when you were born. And then remember, I also go into the reading for you, giving you an idea of the value of the sun and where it was, and the moon and where it was, etc., etc. Very good. Now, let me say this before we continue. We will be doing several of these programs as it relates to, picking dates and going through your natal reading. Now, we're still on the fifth of, not the fifth, but the 11th of the fifth month, yes, 1998. Now, as you could see, we are almost an hour into this, if not more, and we've just been speaking of that one date. But because it's a subject area that many people are not accustomed to, and even if you think you've been culturalized into it because you love astrology, but yet still you still have to be debriefed out of that thinking and be briefed into the righteous way of ancient astronomy. Very important. All right, let us return to the sky chart. Let us return to the date at hand, which is again the 11th of fifth month, 1998, 7:56. The sun is in the constellation of Taurus. Good. So what does that mean? Now, a moment ago, we highlighted that the sun is a constellation, or the sun, pardon me, is directly linked with the constellation of Leo. Now, it's not in Leo here, it's in Taurus. So, what is Taurus all about? We just showed you that Taurus is directly connected to the same value that Venus has. Taurus deals with harmony, Taurus deals with love, Taurus deals with beauty. Now, Taurus is a charging bull, by the way. So there are other aspects of Taurus. Venus. Everyone knows that Venus is this goddess of love, and Venus is the goddess of harmony, and Venus is the goddess of beauty. But how many of us know that Venus is the planet of war for the Olmec people in the Mayan civilization, in the Mesoamerican civilization? So, in other words, in the same way that Mars is considered the planet of war, Venus is also considered the planet of war. Now, when we refer to Mars and Venus as planets of war, it's really a Western way of looking at it, really. It's not really that they're planets of war, but they're planets of strong determination. Planets, that's the symbol that they carry, strong determination and resilience, to the point that they will fight you for their independence, fight you for their dignity. They don't waste time. So people that are affiliated and associated with these planets and these constellations, even Taurus, as much as they deal with harmony and love and beauty, they will fight you. Now, the sun is in the constellation of Taurus, yet still feeding very strongly in the zone of Aries. Now, I know this is the time of Taurus for many people, and rightfully so, yes. But keep in mind that the zodiac time frame is off because the sun is not even in the zone of that Taurus controls as yet. But because Taurus is extremely large, the Pleiades going all the way into Aries space, you are already feeding off of Taurus's energy. All right, let's get to the chase. So the sun, again, represents your ego, another level of determination, but it's determination with a lot of boastfulness and that sort of, yeah, I'm letting you know. It is not just determination. Ego is a different level of determination. I think George Foreman was determined. Muhammad Ali expressed a lot of ego, which is still determination, but you see it and you hear it, and it's heralded from the top of the mountain, and it's made plain. So there's a bit of difference there. So the sun is resilience as well. And the sun is the heart space. So when the sun reacts, follow me, family, this is the punchline. Muhammad Ali and George Foreman punchline. This is the punchline. When the sun reacts or interacts, maybe the better term here, with the constellation of Taurus and any constellation really, it is the value of the sun. Hear me again. It's the characteristics of the sun that when utilized properly brings out the true essence and juice out of the constellation. So, in other words, we all have the sun. You don't have no excuse. We all have the sun. We may not all have Taurus. Maybe some people don't have a planet in Taurus. You don't have the moon wasn't in Taurus. Nothing was in Taurus when you were born. Some people, four stars were planets, pardon me, were in Taurus when you were born. You comprehend? But we all have those four planets. We all have Uranus. We all have the sun. We all have the moon. Remember, each planet still is connected to a constellation. So the values that exist is within all of us. None of us lack in love. None of us lack in beauty. None of us lack in harmony. None of us lack in ego, determination. None of us lack any of the values, intuition, cosmic dreams, because the planets like Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, Saturn, these deal with a lot of cosmic energy and underground meditation and psychic intuition. Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, masters of that. None of us lack it. Some of us may lack the constellation of Cancer or the constellation of Libra. Maybe we don't have anything in Libra. But which planet is Libra directly connected to? Libra is connected to Venus. Well, we all have Venus. So when Venus is in Libra, that is some serious stuff, you know? So again, we utilize the sun, which is in Taurus, to get the energy that Taurus provides. Taurus is harmony. Taurus is love. But the sun is determination. So you got to be determined. You have to have a strong resilience. And of course, approach it from the heart space. It's as simple as that. It's nothing too hard. In fact, let me just take another random planet here. I know we saw where the moon was. Let us just look at Venus quickly. Okay, so at the birth of this individual, again, remember the date. It's tonight, the 11th of May. But we're not dealing with 2025. We're dealing with 1998. Now, where the sun was a moment ago is where the sun is now, today. What I just showed you, 1998, where the sun was 1998, is where the sun was 2025, or where it is 2025, because the sun would not have moved in its yearly cycle that much. It moves 1 degree every 72 years, 1 degree. I mean, it takes 72 years to see the sun move a degree, and you still can't even pick that up with the naked eye. You see, so your lifetime and where the sun is basically the same every birthday, every Earth day. The moon will be different. The planets will be different. They'll be all over the place every year because they have a different um, levels of velocity, whatever have you, of movements throughout the heavens. The moon is the fastest. All right. Again, our ancient astronomy course. You know, what I'm going to do, family, before we get into Venus, would you like to get your natal reading for free? I'm sure many of you will at least, you may not even be able to control the software or the app Stellarium or whatever app to get a good understanding. And maybe you even need some level of assistance in going through or mapping through the heavens. So again, what we will be doing, um, we will be giving you an opportunity just to get a quick free reading right here on the channel. But of course, that will be very swift. We just highlight where the sun is at your birthday or your Earth strong, and where the moon was, and where Venus and a couple planets was, and then we'll move on to a next person. So what I'm going to ask you to do, just email us. First of all, email us, Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com, Priest Isaac Institute at gmail.com, Isaac Institute at gmail.com. And you got to be clear here. You're gonna let us know that I am sending my dates for a free reading, on the channel when we go live with the natal chart program. Now, family, this is not a promise that we will read your natal reading, because many people will be sending in their dates. And then at the same time, when we come live, I'm going to ask those in the chat to put in the chat your date. So put your date in the chat, like I was born this date, this month, this year, this time. And then we will try our best to read as many of the chats. So sometimes we might be here for 3 hours. Remember, we were doing this before. Sometimes we might be here for 4 hours just reading people's chat. And then, of course, those who would have already emailed us, we already have a list of them. So to be honest, sometimes 70% of the people would not even hear their chat being read. And those who get their chat read, it's just like a quick thing we have to run through to give the meaning of what it means, and all of that is just going to take time. So I will encourage you to officially order your own natal chart. It's not an interview with me. I will prepare the document for you. When you get the document, you'll be so happy. It's like a little mini ebook that I prepare for you, unlike any other, clearly showing you what was taking place in the heavens when you were born. Okay, Venus. So again, you get the precise right ascension and declination for Venus. Venus, it's 0 hours, 0 hour, 36 minutes, 46.95 seconds. Now, 0 hours means, now remember, Venus is in Pisces. Pisces is an equinox constellation. So 0 hours means that Venus was on the equator, and that's the right ascension. The declination was positive 2 degrees, 7 hours, 2.1 seconds. All right, fair enough. Anyway, and also let me just cover this. Mercury is also in Venus, and Saturn is also, pardon me, in Pisces. Mercury is in Pisces, and Saturn is in Pisces as well. You understand? So again, these are important points where you can see that the natal child here has 3 planets in one constellation. So that means that they are abound with the value that the constellation of Pisces carries. And they have easy access to that energy. They have easy access to that power because they have several ways to tap into it. They can utilize the energy of Venus. They can utilize the energy of Mercury, They can utilize, because Mercury is communication. So once they know how to utilize communication. But what is communication? Communication may be oratorial skills. A person that can speak well may not be a good communicator. He or she may be able to communicate the word as a preacher or a teacher, but yet still to have a good relationship with family, friends, wife, children. He may or she may not be a good communicator on that level. So there are different levels of communication, you understand? So Mercury deals with communication. That is why Mercury is directly linked to Gemini, the constellation of Gemini. As you see, Gemini does deal with relationship. You know, Gemini is the male and female standing and holding hands. So communication now, for example, would be something that would be a part of this individual, something that they can utilize to bring out the value of Pisces and the energy that Venus carries, that love and that harmony and all of that good stuff. They utilize that as well to what? To bring out the value that's within Pisces. And then whatever characteristics that you find in Saturn, again, you utilize the characteristics to bring out the value of Pisces. So you have all these chances because within you are all of these characteristics again, and you utilize these characteristics to bring out the value within these constellations. This is a real thing. And although this is not a class to try to convince anyone that the heavens really declare the glory, and just like you inhale or infuse or eat or drink a plant, it affects you in the same way. When the plants and the planets align, it affects you as well. So family, again, I would encourage you. We'll be doing a lot of natal chart readings. And even if you get your chart read as such and your name is called, remember still, it would be much better for you to get your in-depth natal chart document highlighting exactly what was taking place in the heavens during the time when you were born. Give thanks, life giver and the keeper of life. King Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. Bless.
Do you want an accurate natal chart reading to know the true position of the sun, the moon, and each planet at the moment that you were being born? We at the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge will create a precise natal chart for you and your loved ones, coupled with snapshot pictures of each planet, the sun, the moon, plus the constellations related to them. In addition to this, we will be giving you a detailed report of the alignment of planets to the constellations and its full meaning, not from an astrological perspective, but from an ancient astronomical perspective. You will have this report for the rest of your life and can share it with your friends and your family. To order your accurate natal chart today, visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Blessed.